Hi. Please look at my hoard. It's too saturated in here. Hold on. Okay, so basically I'm distracting myself right now, and I looked over at that bookshelf, which is very dusty. Before any of these get returned, I must clean it off. And said to myself, there are books on there I'm never gonna read, or books I've read and I'm never gonna read again. Why do I still own them? They should have a new home somewhere else with somebody else who's gonna love them more than I could or have or did. So we're gonna go through all of these books, keep only the ones that I want to keep, that I will read again, or that I will read this year. Some of these books are my husband's books, so I will leave things for him to decide, but let's go on a journey. There is also a lot of journals in here. I have a huge paper problem. Notebook. I love paper. I cannot walk down stationery sections in any store because I want it all. It's not the point. The point is, we are going to put the books that I'm going to keep over here because I feel like it's going to be much smaller than the books that I'm not going to keep, which are going to be lined up here. And then I will put them in bags and give them to a library. So let's get going. Oh, I actually should find a spot to put husband's books. I think I'm gonna layer them up there. He has a lot of books, honestly. Okay. House of Leaves. His, which one day I should probably read. The Familiar, second book. It's going over there. He hasn't read this one yet, though. The Intuitionist, which I started trying to read at the end of last year. It's not that it's a bad book, it's just that it is not a book for me. Color Purple. I love this book. I definitely skipped the first letter, and because trigger warning, assault, bad, but otherwise, solid, beautiful, amazing book. Keep forever. Zelda Art, husband book. East of Eden. I've attempted to read this book several times. The farthest I got last time was this much before I stopped reading it. That's insane to me. Am I gonna read this book? You know, it's a beautiful book. I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna read it this year. The Dove Keepers by Alice Hoffman. I want to read this. I'm going to read this year. Vinegar Girl, which is a retelling of Shakespearean plays, The Taming of the Shrew. It's a very short book. It was not for me. Don't keep. Philip K. Dick, Ubik. I have no idea what this is. Husband. Four Gothic... Husband. All these classics are his, and I am not a classic kid. The Kryptonite Kid. I don't know if this is my book or his book. Hey, hun? Do you know what the Kryptonite Kid is? Okay, it's yours. I'm gonna put it over here for you. Yeah, it looks like something from the last bookstore. No author has treated the effects of pop mythology with such grace and feeling. Don Quixote. George Orwell, 1984. Are we going to finish reading this? Are you going to read it without me?
I'll read it.
It'll be less aggravating. I think this is one of those books that I have to listen to get through because the writing is not for me. But I will keep it and we will get through this together. We're reading this book together. We were trying to read this book together. We started reading it when we got married. We've been married for nearly 3 years now. Keep. Canterbury Tales. You said throw away the Edgar Allan Poe book, right? Get rid of, not throw away. He also said to get rid of the Deadpool books, so. The Room. 3 Homestuck books. Ulysses. The Hobbit. High P. The Disaster Artist. Hamlet. This is the Mad Libs WrestleMania book. The Elements of Cinema. I believe I had this for a class. No.
Notebook.
Oof. Take One Candle, Light a Room by Susan Straight. I really like Susan Straight. I want to read this. I want to read this, and I'm going to read this. The Jungle. I can't even pronounce this. Is any of this in English? Barely. This thing, I don't even know if you could read it, to be perfectly honest. Confidence Man. The Octopus. Romance of the Forest. Johnny Got His Gun. I'm realizing I'm not the problem in this household. Declaron. Okay. Tamora Pierce. We love her in this household. Trickster's Choice and The Trickster's Queen. Excellent books. My second favorite in the entirety of the Tortle series. Keep. Korean for Dummies. No, that's a no. All right, what's this? Fight Club. War of the Worlds. The Arabian Nights. He's keeping this because I got it for him on a whim. It's called Happy Little Accidents with Bob Ross. You have to allow the paint to break to make it beautiful. There's an artist hidden at the bottom of every single one of us. We put some dark in only so our light will show. You have to have dark in order to show light. This is a keeper. Charles Dickinson. Don't even care which one it is. No, No Boy. Woman in White. I, Robot? No. Yes, I, Robot. The Library of the Unwritten. I got this because I saw a booktuber talk about it. Read with Cindy. She's fun. And she didn't really care for it, but like the premise of it. But we're gonna keep this because we almost finished it. It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. I just was like not in the mood for it when I was reading it. Zelda box set. Literally running out of room back there. Shel Silverstein. Everything on it. This is mine. I'm keeping this. That's not the keep pile. Lying Never Sleeps. The Alchemist. I'm pretty sure this is Cindy's book. That's my friend from high school. Her name is Cindy. I should keep it and return it to her. I never read it. I'm keeping it and I'm going to return it to her. She literally let me borrow this half a decade ago. Maybe more. What's this? This is a play. It does not belong to me.
Notebook. 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 Notebook.
Mustachios. I'm keeping these and I'm gonna put them on the back of my computer. I did what I said I would do. Yes, perfect. Mwah. Crush. This comic is so cute. I have another one by the same author called Awkward. I don't have Brave. I should get Brave. Awkward is at my office. I have books at my office. I'm gonna have to clean those up too. Crap. Anyway, this stays. To Be or Not to Be, and Romeo and or Juliet. They are a Choosable Path adventure by Ryan North, because apparently Choose Your Own Venture is something that is copyrighted by somebody. So, by who? It's trademarked, not copyrighted. I keep these because these are endless fun, and I read through them with my husband. I'm timid. I try not to die. He don't care. The Last Lecture. I have no idea what this is. Herman Melville. Pierce or Ambiguities. The Sign of Four. Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship. The Historian. Hamilton. The Playbook. This stays in my household. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I read these for a book club with my friends. As you can see, I did quite a bit on these. I read them and I had notes and they were very good and very interesting. I'm never gonna read these again. Bless Me Ultima. A friend gave me this because he said that it was a literal shame that I was never required to read this in school. And I have still not read it. Are you going to read this year? Are you going to read this year? The Great Big Glorious Book for Girls. Doctor Who Cookbook. I'm sorry, Alice. Rise and Fall of the Dodo. Now, I tried to get my book club to read this, but it was not to the liking of anybody in the book club. Should I read it anyway? This is gonna go on a pause because I'm gonna talk to the people in my book club to see if we're actually gonna read this, because I forced them all to buy it and then we didn't read it. Frame by Frame Asian Cuisine. Yeah, no, this one's staying. One Pot Keto Cookbook. I'm not keto anymore, but I definitely still make recipes from here because they are so good. Instapot Keto. I don't really use my Instapot that much for keto. I usually make a whole meal, so. Disobedience. This is actually a book that is set in the town that I live in. The city that I live in, that I bought at the last bookstore in LA. Last bookstore. I started to read it. It was interesting, and then it stopped being interesting. Then it got weird, but not weird in a way that I am down with, so. But I do have a Doctor Who bookmark that someone made for me. Jam did. It's so cute. It has the quote from Demon's Run on it. Tamora Pierce page and the first test. I'm reading these right now with my book club. We're on the Squire, the third in the novel, and the third in the series, and the fourth is Lady Night. These two are the original covers. Obviously, I'm keeping all of these. The Adventure Zone, the first arc in, well, I know, which one is this? No, this is the second one. The first one's around here somewhere. Yeah. Well, I'll find it eventually. I mean, it's here. Eek. Teen Titans Raven. I saw the artist for this on Instagram and I was like, what? They put a whole book together? Because obviously Raven's my favorite character. And Beast Boy, I really enjoy Beast Boy. And that one is out, but I have not finished reading this. I understand that it's a comic, it's short, and it's a quick read. But when your life is busy, you will understand that it's busy. And you can't get to all the nice things. The Tea Dragon Society and Aquacorn Cove by Katie O'Neill. The art in these things are so pleasing. I love them. They're so great. I love these books. I just want them to sit out on things half open so that people will walk over and be like, what is this? And you're like, it is beauty defined. Look at it. Ugh. If I could draw like this, man. Keep, obviously.
Notebook. 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 Notebook.
If you think for even a second that that's all my notebooks, you're completely wrong. That's just all the notebooks that were on that shelf. The Rope Maker, a book that I read in high school because I liked to read back then, that as soon as I finished reading, I said to, I think, a friend and or my uncle, this book is really good, I enjoyed it. And they said, oh, what's it about? Complete blank. I have no idea what this book is about. And I read it a second time and I did the same thing. I made my best friend read it and she did the same thing. She was like, it's about a girl who goes on an adventure to save something? This book is just a mind wipe. I'm going to reread it again. Actually, I'm probably going to make my book club read it. Was it good? I can't remember. It's an experience. Sarah Addison Allen, The Peachkeeper, The Girl Who Chased the Moon, Garden Spells, First Frost. I'm missing 2 books. They're probably at my office. I really like Sarah Addison Allen. She does a kind of weird magical realism. That's probably not the title. That's not what it's called. But she does a really interesting thing that it's, the whole story is based in reality, but there's just a little bit of magic. And people are just like, yeah, that's cool. It's literally magic happening. And people are just like, uh-huh, okay. And they're romantic. So they get a little more racy as the books come out. The one that I can't find right now, Sugar Queen, is the least, I think they kiss in there. And there's some more stuff that happens in these ones. But I love them. I'm going to reread them. They're so much fun. The Pursuit of Holiness. Very challenging book. I don't agree with everything that I said in here, but it's pretty, so we're keeping this one. The Very Sad Umbrella. My ex-boyfriend my current husband, my forever roommate, the man who pays some of my rent, and I had a date with a couple of friends, and the date was to make kids books together, and we made this one called The Very Sad Umbrella. Oh, it's so cute. I'm not reading it to you, but I'm keeping it. Scott Pilgrim, the entire collection in black and white. There's no color in this. I keep telling my husband to let me just like get a book and color the people in, but he won't let me. Hey, can I color these? He didn't say no. He also didn't hear me. Also, they're his. Norman Reedus, Rockwell, Don Quixote.
You can get rid of the Spanish one.
This one is in Spanish. Okay. Moby Dick, his favorite book. The bullet journal method. All right, time to go through the mini Bibles that I own. The New Oxford Annotated Bible, the Apologetics Study Bible, the Life Application Study Bible, a regular NIV Bible. I don't think we need 3 study Bibles, right? I'm gonna keep this one because I use this the most, and I'm gonna keep my actual Bible because it's tiny and portable. I'm gonna keep the Apologetics one, but I'm going to get rid of the New Oxford edition. Rainbow Rowell Attachments. I got this because I don't remember why. Somebody recommended it to me. I'm not gonna read this. Game Boy Collector's Art. This is not mine. But it was a Christmas gift for my romantic life partner. Dante, The Divine Comedy, a book he finished 2 weeks ago. I think he wants to keep it. A copy of my husband's novel. We'll be keeping that. Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. Neil Gaiman? Gaiman? The Sandman. Here's the thing. He's a good writer. I don't like his writing. I like when I see it translated to like TV or movies. Ooh. Moonstruck comics. They're so cute. Let's see what we're keeping, I suppose. Yeah, those things. They're gonna go on that empty shelf after I clean it. Here's the few that we are getting rid of. It's really not that big of a difference. You know what the real problem is? Let's just look over my shoulder. None of those are mine. As for now, let's go do some pledge on that board over there and put our stuff away. Board? Shelf. I'm gonna need a vacuum over here. Hi, welcome back. So I just had the husband in here and these are the books he's keeping. Yeah, all this. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to put all of them back on that shelf. The ones that he is getting rid of are this. I have no idea what this is. He has a reason for getting rid of the Homestuck ones. He explained it to me. I'm not gonna explain it to you. So these are all the things that are going away. Now we're going to have the fun time of trying to figure out how to organize them on the shelf. He's saying that we should do it by size. So let's get to it, I suppose. If you came here for an aesthetically pleasing bookshelf, I'm sorry. Okay, look at this beautiful mess. I've got my spiritual books and notebooks down here, plus Canterbury Tales, because it couldn't fit anywhere else. Well, it could have, but I didn't want to. And then like some classics in sort of a fashion, and then the comics and joke books, and there's some that are not jokes, but you know, colorfulness. And then up here, books I will probably revisit very often, and books on deck. So like here we've got the books husband is going to read next. He's currently reading something else. And then these ones are next on deck for him. And then these are just like to keep them from falling off of the open hole all the way down into no man's land, which never gets cleaned. And these are the two books I'm reading. Well, I'm reading this one, followed by this one. But I'm going to finish this one, which is why they are there. And nothing on the top. We've done it. Yeah, see all those notebooks that are not going to be, we're ignoring them. Goodbye. Well, hello there. As you can see, I'm all done. Why am I here doing this? Because I didn't really shoot an outro for this before, because it took me an hour and a half to do all of that, and I was done. It was quitting time. It was quitting time when it was quitting time, so I stopped. And I didn't realize that till I went to go and edit. So here you go. The bookshelf. Now, this far away picture looks different than what it looked like before, right? Let's get a close-up. So I went to my office because I had to, and there were a couple books there that I grabbed because I needed them. Well, I didn't need them, but I was planning to keep them, and some other books that I was giving away. So I picked up like The Giver, some other books, and they have been added to my shelf. I did have to do a little bit of rearranging to get them to fit properly. The bookshelf is not as pretty as it was when I finished originally, but all the things that I want to be there are there, and that's what matters. So still pretty proud of it. That's really it, honestly. So thanks for joining my book cleaning, I guess. All right, kids, that's it. Have a good weekend or day. I don't know when this is going up. Have a good